my friends, another dedicated candle review for you today. This is Country Candle's Fireside Chai. This candle was sent to me in PR, full disclosure, from Kringle Candle for review purposes. I received this approximately 2 months ago now. That's hard to believe. But if you have been with my channel any length of time, you guys know that I always strive to give you my honest thoughts on a candle. I will let you know if a candle is worth the splurge or if you should save your money. And you'll want to stay tuned to this review because I've got some thoughts. Also, this, it looks like, is the last candle that I have to review, other than I thought that it was my last one, but when I just looked at my sheet, I actually do have one more country candle in the holiday 2024 lineup, but I don't see myself burning that candle until after the holidays, and that would be Christmas and Manhattan. But if you want any more thoughts about any of these new Kringle and Country holiday releases, the ones that I have reviewed are all available in my Kringle and Country Candle review playlist. So now that we got all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about Fireside Chai. This is one of their standard 2-wick large jars in the Country lineup. This fragrance is also available in a medium-sized jar as well as the daylights and wax melts. The pour date of this specific candle is August 27th, 2024. We have fragrance notes listed as top notes of bourbon and cider, mid notes of wood smoke and wood, base notes of amber and spice. So what does my nose detect? First and foremost, I do want to say that I don't believe I smell any chai really in this fragrance. This is not like a chai tea fragrance. There might be a little element of spice, but it is definitely more so like in the base notes, as they say here, because it's not the first thing that you detect. It might be there in the background, lending a little bit of warmth to the candle. But really what my nose detects the most on this are those top notes of bourbon and cider. Now, that being said, bourbon, I know a lot of people can think that that would mean that this is a boozy fragrance. I don't detect booziness in here. I do detect what almost smells like kind of a deep fruitiness, that it's not necessarily like summertime fruit or grape, or even, I think to my nose, like I wouldn't even really say that like, oh, this smells like a fruity candle. But when you really stop and sniff it, I do think that it's really the fruit that would be in a cider type of fragrance. Cider, to me, most of the time is like an apple cider. There's a little bit of like a depth to it, maybe almost kind of like, I don't know if this is the right word to use, but almost like a pungency. Like there's a little, cider can be a little bit pungent to the nose. And I do think that the mixture of the bourbon and the cider, it creates kind of a unique fragrance. Now, I personally like it. In fact, if you caught my first sniffs that I did with my husband of the holiday lineup, this was actually my favorite fragrance on cold of the Country lineup. I did really enjoy it, and I thought I'm going to really like that one. And I will say that even upon burn, I still like it. I don't think that I love it. It's not a fragrance that I see myself repurchasing. But it is definitely a more unique fragrance, which we know that Kringle always strives to be a little bit more conceptual. I do know that they do some of their like more like run of the mill, I don't want to say run of the mill, but like your standard fragrances. Like I just reviewed the Here Comes Santa Claus, and I said that that is like a genuine good tree fragrance. It's a very neutral tree fragrance. So I think like that's more like in line with, I think, like what a lot of people would want. And then they also strive to do some fragrances that are a little more conceptual, and I feel like this fragrance falls into that line. Now, the mid notes of wood smoke and wood, I wouldn't say that I really detect a lot of woodiness in here, but definitely more of like a wood smoke would be in here. That being said, this is not an overly smoky fragrance to my nose. I am somebody who tends to like smoky fragrances. So I would tell you if I detect smokiness in here, but I don't really detect that. It's not like a hearth side type of candle to my nose. The wood smoke in here, again, maybe lends a little bit of warmth to balance out kind of that bold, rich fruitiness that kind of is that mixture of the bourbon and the cider. But it's, it's there. Amber and spice, like I said, the spice note, it's not really detecting. I don't really detect like a spiciness in here. It's definitely not a chai spice that you would get, say, from like Bath and Body Works Autumn Chai. That one has a little bit more spice to it. The amber would lend a little bit of perfuminess in here, and I could see maybe a hint of that in the base. Again, maybe like a warmth. But this fragrance is honestly quite unique. And I would say that if you are very intrigued by this fragrance, but you're not yet ready to dive into like a full vessel, I would highly recommend picking this one up in the daylight format, because I do feel like this is a fragrance that people are either going to really enjoy, or they're going to be like, I don't like this one. There were a couple of reports in the Kringle Facebook group. Some people said that this fragrance to them on the first couple of burns kind of gave off like a vinegar type of vibe. I didn't detect that. My nose didn't really pick that up, but I do know that a couple of people did. So that is something that you might want to know about. Let's go ahead and talk about the performance of this candle. So you can see as I turn here, this candle has been lit for about 4 hours right now. We've got good flames going. I have been trimming the wicks, but like I said in the Here Comes Santa Claus review, this candle is not developing huge carbon balls. There's enough that I trim up, just gently trim off the excess at the end, but this is not an overly sooty, wild burning type of fragrance. We've got a good deep wax pool going on here. Now, strength and throw on this candle, I am going to resonate with what I have seen a couple of other reviewers say, and a couple of other people in the Kringle Facebook group have said. The performance on this candle is not very good in terms of strength and throw. I would put this one around a 4 in terms of strength and throw. I definitely cannot smell it out here in the open concept. If I burn this maybe in like my guest bathroom, I can smell it there. Sometimes when I burn it in my daughter's bedroom, which is one of the smaller bedrooms in my house, I can smell it in there. But even when I burn this candle in my master bedroom, there have been times when I've gone in there and I can smell it, but even then it's not really like smacking me in the face. At the most, this candle has been a 5 in terms of strength and throw, but I would say I'm going to lean a little bit more cautiously, more so towards a 4. I can detect it in a smaller closed concept space, but if you're planning to burn this candle in an open concept, you're going to be wasting your money, to be honest with you. That being said, if you are somebody who likes to crock your candles, I think that you might get some enhanced performance that way. But like I said, this one burning, it's just around a 4 to 5, which is a little bit disappointing, especially if you like this fragrance. And like I said, I really enjoyed this fragrance on Cold Snip. I was hoping for better performance from this one, but it's not doing so hot. So I would say that if you're still really interested in this fragrance, maybe you do have a smaller, more closed concept style of home and you think that you would like it, I would still probably strongly suggest waiting to pick this one up on a pretty deep discount. I can't remember if I've said it in this video or one of the other ones. You guys know that I tend to batch film a little bit. I do anticipate that there will be some good sales going on over the next week. I can't remember if this one is currently included in the 30% off sale going on the Kringle website. I don't believe I saw this one in that lineup. But you can go ahead and check it out over there. If it's not in the current sale, we all know that probably starting next week, all of the retailers are going to start running their Black Friday sales. We don't have any inside information on that as ambassadors yet, but I anticipate that they'll be running a good sale for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So if you are interested in this one, you probably want to hold out for a good sale. I do have a discount code with Kringle. It is Katie15. I don't think that will combine with any good sales. And I will tell you, always save the most amount of money. If they're running a 40% off sale or 30% off, that is definitely more savings than my 15%. So use that discount every day that ends in Y. But I do always like to let you know that I do have a discount with them if you ever want to use that on future purchases. So overall, you guys, this candle just I wouldn't repurchase it. And personally, I don't think that I can recommend it just because the fragrance isn't anything that is so amazing and hoard worthy or anything for me that it would even be worth purchasing to crock, which you guys know that I don't really like to crock candles anyways. Let me know in the comment section down below if you have purchased this candle, what your burn experience has been. I do always encourage you to chime in with your reviews as well, because I'm just one voice in the candle community. I know that there's a lot of other reviewers here on YouTube or over on Instagram. And quite frankly, there's quite a few of you guys who are giving some excellent reviews over in the Kringle Facebook group too. There's a lot of places where you can get some informed reviews. prior to making purchases. So I would encourage you to check all of those out. But yeah, I'm just one voice, and I do always encourage you guys to chime in as well, so that way everybody can get a well balanced opinion about all of our candles. So feel free to hit thumbs up if you found this video helpful. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.